Hey everybody, this is Mr. Schultz here with you. We're going to take a look at absolute value, and this is going to be our day one on this. So this is absolute value, day one. We're going to start off with some review and kind of reminding what that is. So let's start off here with first one. Number one says, find the distance between 10 and 7. So what's the distance between 10 and 7? Well, that would be 3. The next one, find the distance between 20 and 24. Do a little thinking here. The distance between those two numbers should be 4. Now we get a little bit more difficult. The distance between 4 and -3. This one here comes out to be 7. It is 7 units because it takes 4 to get back to 0 and then 3 more to get down to that -3. So the total distance there is 7. Let's do the next page. So we'll think back to 7th grade. What is absolute value? So take a second, pause the video, see if you remember. Okay, so here we go. So absolute value is this. The distance between a number and 0. Be sure to write this down here. The distance between a number and 0. That's what the absolute value is. It's a distance. It should be a positive number. Let's see what the next slide is. So doing some light review on absolute value. Absolute value is these 2 bars here. So when you see 2 bars beside a number, that means what's the distance between that number and 0? So what's the distance between 7 and 0? Well, that's just 7. Next one, what's the distance between -5 and 0? Well, that's just 5. It's not -5, it's a distance. Distance is always a positive number. I wouldn't say, if I was going to tell you that I was going to my house, I wouldn't say, well, my house is -5 miles away. You would look at me and think that's weird. It's 5 miles away. So, same thing here. Distance is always positive. So now here, on my next one, I've got absolute value of 14 plus 8. 14 plus 8, well, that is 22. Now, this is really saying, what's the absolute value of 22? Well, that would, of course, be 22. But now we get to a weirder one. Absolute value of 10 minus 12. It feels like, oh, if it's absolute value, it's always positive. This should also be 22. But absolute value says, what's the distance between a number and 0? So we need to first get this down to a number. It works kind of like a parenthesis. So I'm going to say 10 take away 12, which would be -2. Now it's saying what's the absolute value of -2? That would be +2. So make sure to always kind of solve what's inside there first. It works kind of like a parenthesis. So look inside there, see what it looks like, and then go from there. Let's go to the next slide. Now here's where we start to get it into 8th grade. Find as many solutions as you can. Now I've got this x on the inside here. So I'm saying the absolute value of some unknown is equal to 5. Okay, so how many solutions can you find for x here that will be equal to 5? Take a second and think about that. I think the first solution is pretty straightforward. It should be 5. The absolute value of 5 is 5. But there's a second one. What would the other value be? Yeah, the absolute value of -5 would also be equal to +5. So I've got 2 different values that x could be. X could be equal to this, or it could be equal to -5. Both of those work to make that distance of 5. Ideas on the next one. X is equal to what? 133, and also -133. Okay, starting to see this pattern, how, hey, we kind of have to account for this positive distance and this negative distance. Same thing here, it'd be 6 and -6, but now we get to something a little bit crazier. Absolute value of x is equal to -3. Well, what number does this equal here? Well, to follow our pattern, we'd say it's just 3 and -3, right? But what is the absolute value of 3? It would be +3. Is that the same thing as -3? No, it's not. Okay, that's weird. Let's try our second one. -3 absolute value, would that be equal to +3 again? Hey, it's also not that. What value, if absolute value is always distance and it's positive, is this possible? No, it's not. So this is a no solution. So if you get an absolute value that is supposed to be equal to a negative number, that's not possible. It is no solution. You can't have that happen. We'll see a few more of these as we keep going. Let's see the next problems on the next slide. Now here's where we really start to kind of dress it up now. So now I've got x minus 3 should be equal to a distance of 4. So this stuff inside of here, find as many solutions as you can. Well, if we take kind of our strategy from before, we said, okay, if x is 4, Well, 4 minus 3, that's just equal to negative 1. That's definitely not equal to 4. So that didn't work. So I have to find something that I take away 3 from that makes 4. So I'm trying to find, if I look inside of this absolute value here and say I'm trying to get this thing to be equal to 4. So what I'm really kind of saying is this, x minus 3, I'm trying to set that equal to 4. So we go back to our solving equations. You can see it already coming out here. Now this is obviously a one step. You don't even need to really do this because you can just see it. But 7 would be one of the solutions. X is equal to 7. So 7 minus 3 would be equal to 4. Absolute value of 4 is negative 4. But remember, when we looked inside of these, we also saw that there was this negative value that it could be equal to. So we also need to find a second equation where x is equal to negative 4. So when I look inside, I see this secondary option here of x being equal to negative 1. Now let's think about that. Negative 1 take away 3 would be negative 4. The absolute value of negative 4 would be positive 4. So what I'm seeing here to start is I'm seeing kind of we have to do this positive side and we have to do this negative side. We're looking aside and saying, what does the absolute value have to be equal to? Well, the absolute value has to be equal to a positive 4 and it has to be equal to a negative 4. Let's try this again on the next one. X minus 4 is equal to 5. So again, when I look inside, I'm kind of seeing two options. Needs to be equal to the absolute value needs to be equal to a positive 5. And the absolute value also needs to be equal to a negative 5. Because both those things, when you take the absolute value, will create a distance that is positive and is 5. So, if you want to show the solving equation steps, I think it's a great idea to help keep you practiced up there. If you're feeling really confident about it, you can probably just stick with doing it in your head there. So your two solutions here would be x is equal to 9 and x is equal to negative 1. 9 minus 4 is 5. Negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. Absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So here's our big strategy here. Look inside. When you look inside the absolute value to determine what the absolute value has to be equal to. Well, just like on this previous one, it has to be equal to a positive 5, but it should also be equal to a negative 5 because a negative 5 absolute value is equal to a positive 5. So look inside the absolute value and say, what does the absolute value have to be equal to? So I'm going to use this phrase a lot, look inside. Let's go to our next slide here. So here we go. We've got a few of them. I'll do the first one with you, and then I'll let you do the next three. It says, look inside the absolute value to determine what the absolute value has to be equal to. Has to equal. So it has to so my absolute value should be equal to a positive 4, but it should also be equal to a negative 4. So inside the absolute value has to be equal to a positive 4 and has to be equal to a negative 4. So just go and we'll do our solving equations, one-step stuff. Should be pretty straightforward here to take a look at. Take away 7 from both sides in both situations. Negative 3 and negative 11. Then, of course, we can try it. Negative 3 plus 7 would be a positive 4. The absolute value of positive 4 is 4. Negative 11 plus 7 is equal to negative 4. Absolute value of negative 4 is equal to a positive 4. Both of these work. So, I want you to try the next couple. They get a little bit different with this decimal, but it's just a decimal, and this multiplication here. Remember what you have to do to undo that, and then of course back to our normal stuff. So take a second to look at these three. Show you the solutions here in just a minute. Pause the video right now would be great. All right, so here are your next three solutions. So our first one, we're just again going to set this equal to a positive 5.4 and a negative 5.4 and solve both of them by adding 1.6 to both sides. So I end up with x is equal to 7 and x equal to negative 3.8. Next one, same type of thing, except this time I'm going to do some division because I'm multiplying here. So divided by 2, it should be 11.5. Divided by 2, it should be negative 11.5. Then we get to the third one. It feels like let's just set up and go with it. But wait a second. When does an absolute value ever equal a negative number? Remember, an absolute value always has to be equal to a positive number. The only reason why I can set these here out equal to a negative value is because I'm removing them from the absolute value. And so here, absolute value is never equal to a negative number. Therefore, it is no solution. It's not possible. Let's take a look at the very last slide to give a little preview of what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So here we are, kind of a similar approach here, but now this time, when I set this, I'm just going to have multiple steps here. So I'm going to look inside and see what does inside the absolute value have to be equal to make this equal to 5. Well, the absolute value inside would need to be equal to 5, or it would need to be equal to negative 5. So I'm just going to set those two things up, and look at this. Much the same type of stuff. I'm going to be solving this. So that's equal to 6. I'm left over with 2x. I'm going to divide by 2, x will be equal to 3. You can already see these solving equation skills we've been working on so much coming back around here. And remember, it's pretty straightforward when you've got these smaller equations to solve. But of course, we don't sit in smaller equations. We usually get them a little bit bigger by the time we're actually starting to solve stuff. So just make sure that you are following these steps. Write down each of these steps like this. I'm not a huge stickler on writing down work. This is hugely important to write down your steps until you get good at it. Be sure to write down your steps. It'll really help you get there. Let's take a look at our very last one. Now this one is a little bit different because we want to say look inside and set these two, but wait a second. Not all this stuff is inside here. So before I can look inside, I need to get just the absolute value equal on the one side. So I'm just going to first get rid of this number on both sides. So when I do that, I'll be left with the absolute value of 5x plus 10, close that absolute value, should be equal to 30. Now I can look inside the absolute value and set it up here. So let's look inside and say, well, it has to be equal to a positive 30, and it has to be equal to a negative 30. And then I'm going to go through and solve. 5x plus 10 and 5x plus 10. Let me get the rest of these steps out here. All right, so there are the rest of the steps. So just solving two equations here. Take away 10 on both sides, divide by 5 on both sides. You end up with your two solutions of x is equal to 4 and x is equal to negative 8. So good preview of where we're going to be going. Of course, we're going to make them a little bit bigger even the next day here. So that should be a whole bunch of everything that we have, but here's your key concept. You want to look inside and see what should the absolute value be equal to for it to work. So that's everything that I've got for you today. Have a great rest of your day.